There's a moment in personal finance that almost nobody talks about, not because it's a secret, but because most people never stay long enough to notice it. It's not about buying a car, owning a house, or reaching a certain job title. It's about a number, and more importantly, what that number begins to do on its own while you sleep. That number is $100,000, and what makes it powerful has almost nothing to do with the amount itself and everything to do with the threshold it represents. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button now, because you're not going to want to miss what comes next. For most people in their 20s and early 30s, money feels like a flow. It comes in, it goes out. And the goal is simply to make sure expenses don't exceed income. Savings, if they exist, act as a buffer for emergencies, not as a tool for building the future. At that stage, money is defensive. It protects your present, but doesn't actively grow your future. And that's not a lack of discipline. It's a rational response because below a certain level, money doesn't feel like it's working. If you invest $10,000 at an average return of 8%, you earn $800 in a year, which sounds fine until you realize it doesn't change your life, reduce your stress, or give you new opportunities. Because the reward feels small, people naturally lean towards spending, which gives immediate satisfaction, and that's the trap. Everything begins to change at $100,000 because that same 8% now produces $8,000 in a year without additional effort. That's meaningful, that's noticeable, and that's when your relationship with money starts to shift. It stops being just a shield and starts becoming an engine. Beyond that, the math compounds. 100,000 grows to 108,000 a year, then roughly 117,000 the next, doubling in about 9 years and quadrupling in about 18, all without additional contributions. This means people who reach this level early enter a completely different financial reality because time and compound begin to work in their favor, and the gap between them and those who start later becomes exponential, not just based on contributions, but on growth over time. But the real transformation is psychological. When you feel financially fragile, you make defensive decisions, you avoid risks, stay in safe jobs, avoid negotiation, and hold back on opportunities because failure feels dangerous. Once you cross this threshold, even partially, your behavior changes. You start taking calculated risks, negotiating more confidently, and exploring new opportunities because you have a base to fall back on. That base creates something more valuable than money, which is options, and over time, those options compound into better decisions and greater wealth. The system itself doesn't make this easy to see because modern life is designed around consumption. Advertising pushes you to spend. Credit makes it easy to spend beyond your means. And society rewards visible spending while saving and investing remain invisible and slow. Building toward that 100,000 requires going against that current, which is why most people never reach it. But once you do, everything changes. Time begins to work for you instead of against you. Your money starts growing even when you're not actively working. And the next 100,000 comes faster and with less effort. It won't make you rich or solve all your problems, but it places you on the right side of compounding, where wealth starts to feel real and where the system finally begins to work in your favor. And if it's opened your eyes, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I break down the financial traps keeping young people broke every single week.